Welcome to my presentation, everybody. I would like to preface this presentation by saying that it is for two types of people, what I'm going to present. One, it's for more people that are new to like blockchain and signatures in general, because this is going to be a pretty general presentation, not too into depth about algorithms like what you presented to us previously. And secondly, I think it is good for us anyway, especially now with what we have like with Oasis, and we see that it's going to become more and more relevant to us, then it means that we're going to be doing signatures more and more often on-chain, which means that we cannot just make a private key and do like Ethereum sign and that's it. It's probably going to change a bit. This is what we have in store today. Just random titles, don't worry about it. Have you ever seen this, encountered everything like this, anything like this? Any sort of error from a signature mismatch, or maybe you bought a bunch of stuff for your wallet address, but then all of a sudden when you check who's the owner of the NFT, it's the zero address, all kinds of issues like these. They all stem from signature mismatches, usually. And let's just talk very broadly. A signature is just a private key, some data, and then some math. Which also means that when you have this signature mismatch, then this is likely where your problem stems from one of these factors. So the first thing that could happen is you just need to take a good look at what you're doing, okay? Simple data mismatches. So for example, this is a snippet of a contract from our ENS system where the message hash is an encoding of some strings and then some data and some strings again, some data, it's another string and more data. And it's very specific. As you can see, there is commas, there is spaces, there's equal signs, and any sort of change that you do will cause in a signature mismatch if you signed on something differently. But this is very simple. You should hope that your errors are this. Probably not. Sometimes you need to take two good looks, okay? So for example, I had one time an issue where I was signing something I was doing some sort of action in JavaScript, and then I was also doing it in Python, and then I was signing over that action, or over the hash of that action, and then my signature was false for the Python or false for the JavaScript. As you can see, sometimes they just do things a little bit differently. So when I did base 64 URL of some data, then I got the first piece of data, and then when I did it in Python, then I got the second piece of data. Again, this is still pretty simple, but it may happen. Stuff similar to this can also happen, for example, when you need to add some sort of prefix to your data for a signature. So for example, the /0x19 Ethereum sign message, it's something that we have used, and it was causing me at least many problems in the beginning when we were using Oasis, because I wasn't sure why I wasn't able to correctly recover my signatures. But by adding this prefix, it fixed my error. Another thing that could happen is a signature type mismatch. So this goes a bit more into the math and the data of the signature, because we have many signature types, some that you are very familiar with. So for example, the personal message, the EAP 7702, raw transaction signatures, and also now the EAP 712. But there's also many other types of signatures, and you always need to know how the verification that you're trying to do, wherever you're trying to verify or to have a valid signature for, you always need to know what they are doing, what type of signature are they looking for. Otherwise, you might get one of those errors that we've seen before. But maybe sometimes you're doing everything correct, but you still seem to not get the correct address recovered for whatever it is that you're signing. Maybe you are not really looking for the right thing. Maybe you have a private key, and you didn't derive the address correctly for it, and that is why you can never get a signature to properly recover. This was what was happening for me early on also very often when I was doing the Oasis signatures, because I wasn't going from the private key to the address in the correct way. And now, let's say I don't want to open this presentation ever again, and I want to be able to get everything right on the first time. How can I do this? The first thing I recommend is to log everything as much as possible, obviously. And the second thing is to always look at standards, but also try to really use libraries that are known, like Ethereum utils, for example. And that will help you get your signature right on the first time. And that is also better for our teamwork. If we use standards, if we use common libraries, then we are much less likely to get some sort of a signature mismatch. Thank you very much.